GBUnit.
Welcome to the world of GBUnit, a world my son and I have built completely in survival mode over the last 3 to 4 years. Today's video, which is the second video in our fancy cabin build, the library room with Live-In Librarian. If you missed the first video, the intro to our fancy cabin, make sure to check that out. We'll leave a link in the description down below. Stay tuned for a funny Minecraft blooper and an epic fail later in the video. So, here is our fancy cabin, and here is the library room. I'll take a look in here. So, in this video, we'll talk through this room right here, the ideas behind it, and then the second thing we'll talk about is how we got our librarian in here. And he is right over there taking a nap. So, the idea behind our library room was about the evil emanating from the old tool shed and the super spooky spells that lie within this very library room. We needed a librarian to live in this room and guard these spells so they don't fall into the wrong hands. A thought I had was about a line from the movie Evil Dead. My God, I've locked her in the cellar. And the evil in the movie that was just beneath the surface of the house. Or in our case, the evil that's just beneath the old tool shed. So if we start to look through our library room, some of the idea was about the evil over there and the evil within these spell books. And so we wanted a poster that kind of gives it that kind of feel as well. So we got one over there. As you can see other places, we got a lot of library books on the shelves. This is our main window looking at the old tool shed. So we have some slabs up top that sort of frame it up nice and connect with the bookshelves. We have a desk that's made out of a lectern in the middle so you can put spells on it. And then we got our bookshelves, which give a little extra surface, and then we have our barrels on the ends, and you can put stuff on them too, like we have a nice looking flower over here. In the barrels, we have all the supplies a working librarian would need. We have ink and feathers and books and quills and books and a few other items as well. So, if we move behind us, you can see we got some larger bookshelves over here, and in between them we have this nice area that's a nice working area where you could envision laying out some different spells as you're working, reading them or writing them. So we have supplies here, empty books and quills, and a spell book right up there. Some lanterns to make it feel nice as well. Over here we have a couple very simple desks that have lecterns in the middle and with spells, and then just some stairs to make the edges of the desks. Over here you can see we have the beds for our villager. Around the corner, he has some privacy here, and he's got some empty lecterns so he can jump around and play parkour. So, he also has, you can see train tracks right there for our llama roller coaster. He can also see the llamas on the roller coaster passing up here, and you can see the stairs up to the Yo-Yo Llama's super dope tree crib. So he can see the llama roller coaster through this window and up there, and through this window, he can see the roller coaster as well. So that's to help keep him entertained. If we check out the spells we got here, if you look at the first spell, this is spells for llamas as we're looking out this window at the llamas. So this is about grills. This gives your llama a gold grill for his teeth. The next one is about chains. This gives your llama a gold chain You better recognize, son. And then the third is about cribs, and this makes your llama's crib even more tight, which is a pretty useful one. Here we have a super scary spells. This first spell is just a little scary. And here we have a scary spell. Ah! This is scary. And now, a really scary spell. This makes the obvious fact known that Dad is way more accurate with his bow than his son.
That is completely untrue. I don't know where you're getting this.
And an even scarier spell. Dad will run 2 times faster than his son. Dad is just that good.
No.
Dad has skills. And the scariest spell of all abilities will be removed from my son and given to Dad.
Why? Just why?
You're right. Dad doesn't need them. We go to our last spell book over here. We have sitting out. This one is about. This is the summoner. This summons evil spirits. The next one is about the cellar. My God, this locks evil spirits in the cellar. And the last one is about deadites. This wakes the skeleton army of the dead to fight for you. Now that's a sight for sore bones. P.S. Remember, shop smart. Shop S-smart. And for those of you that know, that is a line from the movie Army of Darkness, which is a pretty fun movie there. So, now, if we go ahead and leave this room, we can go out and I'll check out the spot that we got our librarian, and we'll talk about how we got him back here. So, if I just run upstairs here, I'll take a quick flight over to where he's at. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. It's just becoming day. So actually, I'll just go straight up to the roof. All right. So, let me on it. And here it is. So we'll fly in down here and try and drift right in next to it. So here, this is when my son and I were playing together, and we found a zombie villager right out here next to our fancy cabin. So what we did with the two of us is we had one of them distract the library, or he wasn't a librarian at the time, he was a zombie villager. So we distracted the zombie villager with one person and had the other person build this quick shelter around him. And so this works pretty good with 2 people, but you got to make sure you do not have any thorns on your armor, otherwise the villager may kill himself. The zombie villager may kill himself running into you. The other part of this is you kind of got to have a little spot for yourself to sneak out at the end where you just put down a block and then maybe cut through the back here, and then my son would seal them up. But we got to make sure you have this one block that's not filled up. Otherwise, he may run out of air and die. So you don't want that to happen. So make sure you have at least one block open. So once he, actually to, most of you know this, I'm sure, but to change him from a zombie villager into a regular cured zombie villager, you need a potion of weakness, and you can throw this at his feet outside if you get him in the right spot, or if you got him locked in here, you can throw it in here at him too, and then you have to feed him, be next to him to feed him a golden apple. And once you do that, you should hear a bang, and after the bang, it takes a little while for your zombie villager to turn and become a cured villager. And so that's the purpose of this shelter, is to make sure the zombie villager is covered from the sun in case the sun comes out, so he doesn't burn and die. Another way to deal with that is just to have him chase you into some place that has shallow water. And that way you could have him standing in the shallow water, and that keeps him from starting on fire once the light comes out. As far as getting him back to the cabin, well, the simple way to do that is just to put down a boat, and you just sort of move around it until he falls in, and then if he does, well, this you have to do this once he's cured, otherwise he'll keep hitting you. But once he's cured, you do that, and then you jump in yourself and you go for a swim. So you can actually row a boat across land, and you can keep traveling as long as you're going down or straight across. So now that we're in the river, I'll try and stupid fisher, try to get us back home. Well, I'm doing better now. I'm not the best of navigators or a driver in a boat. Let's see. All right, so we gotta get back home here and try to go in this area we got here. And I got it. Last time I had quite a bit more trouble. So you want to have a space that's a couple blocks wide, and you can row all the way in to where you want to go. I'll exit. I sort of demonstrated the point here, but you just cut the blocks, and you'd have them come in. You'd just keep rowing until you're behind these two gates, and then once you're there, you just lock them in the gates, and then you go replace your floor tiles, and you should be all set. Never been the best boat driver. And then there's a spot right here. Let's see. Gotta get in there. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Grayson, help me. Alright, I think I might have to get up and break.
Oh my god.
Jason, come here.
Yeah, my god.
Okay, here this is. The last thing is, what if you bring your villager home and he doesn't turn into the type of villager you want? Well, then you need to go and get rid of every other job block besides the job block of the villager that you want your villager to turn into. In this case, we'd be keeping the lectern over there and breaking every other job block we have starting from in here. So the barrels would go, we'd chop down. We also have in this next room a bunch of things that another set of job blocks that we got rid of when we got our villager. And you start by closest to you and work outwards. Depending on how many other ones you have, you might want to stop early and just wait. The villager won't really change until when the villager would normally go visit the job blocks, which is 2 times a day. So at that point, hopefully your villager would turn into the type you want, and if not, then you go and get rid of more job blocks around you until that happens. Once it does, the last thing you have to do is to trade with your villager to sort of lock him into the type that he is. So in our case, he'd be a librarian. We just go give him some paper or anything else he offers and trade with him, and you should be all set. I'll have my son.
Hey guys. So, my dad did a lot better this time at voting. Because last time he kept rolling straight into the wall. Anyways, please like and subscribe. share with your friends, and GBUnit is out.